Good afternoon, students, and good afternoon, wider viewing audience. Thank you for being here this afternoon. My name is Julia Sampath, alongside my co-host and colleague, Mrs. Heidi Deolat. And today we welcome you to our virtual career fair series and spotlighting careers in the social sciences fields. So we're really excited for you all to be here this afternoon. Mrs. Deolat?
Thank you, Ms. Sampath, for that warm welcome. And I assure you, we are all very excited to be here this afternoon.
Yes.
So without much ado, we shall start our evening's proceedings. We first will have the National Anthem. Then we will have a prayer done by another one of our colleagues, Ms. Sophia McIntosh, followed by welcoming remarks from yet another one of our colleagues, Mernell Hendrickson. So can you all stand for the National Anthem, please?
Thank you very much, Ms. McIntosh. You will be with the prayer now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's pray. Dear Father, we are thankful for the opportunity to be here for the third session of our virtual career fair. I pray that you will guide all that we do and that our children will understand the career options available to them and the decisions they need to make to achieve their career goals. Amen.
Thank you very much, Ms. McIntosh. And now we have our welcome remarks by our colleague, Ms. Mernell Hendrickson.
Ms. Hendrickson, your mic is muted.
I'm sorry. Good afternoon and welcome to all of our attendees. I would like to extend a special welcome to our students. We are very happy to have you with us, and we look forward to sharing more information with you on careers in social sciences. This week, we will be continuing with our dynamic presentations, and we are sure you will find them quite enlightening also. We are encouraging you to stay tuned for the next 2 hours as our presenters share with you pertinent information. I now hand you back over to our host and co-host.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hendrickson. Yes, Ms. Deolat and I are very excited to be here this afternoon. You know, we have these lovely ladies, Ms. Deolat.
Yes, we do. We have an amazing lineup this afternoon, and we are sure that at the end of the afternoon, you students will have a wealth of information that you can take with you to help you prepare for your future. So Miss Sampert, tell me this afternoon, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to our first presenters talking about community mediation. It's something that
Yes.
I think is a field that is growing, and I'm really excited to hear what they have to say this afternoon.
Of course, and with our country especially, we need to learn about this ourselves, much less let our students know about mediation. And this afternoon, we have not one person, but we have two ladies to present to us. So I will give you some information on our first presenter, and then Ms. Sampert will share on our second presenter. So Miss Olivia Smith-Shaw, she is our first presenter. She has a passion for people and behavioral studies. Miss Olivia Smith holds a Master of Science and postgraduate diploma degrees in mediation studies, and she has been working in this field for the past 9 years. Currently, she is a practicing mediator with the Community Mediation Services Division, Ministry of Sport and Community Development, and continues to develop her skill. One of her areas of focus is peer mediation, where she facilitates a number of training sessions in our schools throughout Trinidad and Tobago. She is a believer in restorative justice. Ms. Smith-Shaw works in the field she loves and continues to see the benefit of mediation and conflict resolution in the lives of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow, that is a wealth of knowledge, and I'm very excited. And alongside her this afternoon, we also have Miss Susan N. Gordon. She is a retired Foreign Service officer who served at the bilateral, regional, hemispheric, and multilateral levels, and was particularly involved in trade and development negotiations and CARICOM and hemispheric integration initiatives. Ms. Gordon is a certified and practicing mediator in civil and family matters. She has been employed as a mediator with the Community Mediation Services Division since August of 2013. Ms. Gordon is also a member of the Board of Directors and Secretary of the Trinidad and Tobago Transparency Institute. Ms. Gordon is also a fellow of the Royal Commonwealth Society. So we have some big heavy hitters this afternoon, Ms. Deolad, and we're really excited to hear the presentations we have today.
Of course.
Yes.
So I think very, very warm welcome. I want to say good afternoon to all the students that we have on this session today. Now, my session is going to be interactive in that I'm going to be asking questions. So feel free during the presentation to unmute your mic when I ask certain questions, because I want to get some feedback and not feel like I'm just talking to rectangles with names on the inside, right? So let me put up my presentation. If I could just get some feedback that you'll have seen the presentation, let me know.
Yes, we are.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so like everyone said, my name is Shari Renal. I'm the Human Resource Manager for the Family and Children Division of the Judiciary. This afternoon, I'll be giving you all a brief on what the Family and Children Division is, what we're all about, the kind of services that we provide, and then of course, some of the careers that we have at the Judiciary that you may be interested in. So tell me, first question, anybody can unmute their mic and just give me an answer. Why do you think that the Family and Children Court exists? Anybody? Come on, don't all rush at once. Any person? Are y'all going to make me choose somebody from the list? Oh, Jaden John has you. Okay, Jaden, go ahead and unmute and you can tell me why you think the Family and Children Court exists.
Miss Reynolds, I don't think he would have access, but he could type it in the chat.
Okay, sure. I'll allow them to type it in the chat.
In the ask questions here chat. Jaden, if you want to type your answer in the ask questions here, that'll be a great place.
And Julia, maybe you can tell me when there is a response there.
Not yet.
Anybody else can respond as well, since you're putting it in the chat.
Okay, so far I am not seeing any questions coming in for you.
And no responses from Jada.
Yes.
All right. So guys, I really want you to feel free to be interactive. Put your responses. I'm seeing something in the chat here. There's something there. I can't access it from here. Nothing as yet.
No, nothing as yet. Sorry.
Oh, so Shiv Prasad sent me something directly, and he said that is it Shiv? I hope he or she, I'm not sure, said that they're there to resolve conflict with families. So yes, it was established to oversee family and children court matters, right? So the family and children division facilitates problem solving. It's a problem solving court systems to address any underlying factors that contribute to family conflict and to offensive behavior among children or children who come in conflict with the law. So Shiv, that was absolutely on the money. The courts were created to resolve those conflicts, all right? So in 2018, the division was operationalized. And this is the system in terms of how it's broken down. You have the Judiciary of Trinidad and Tobago, the Court of Appeal, and then you have the Family and Children Division of the High Court. And the Family and Children Division is broken up into the Family Court and then the Children Court, right? So the Family Court, we have 3 Family Court locations. So we have the Family Court North. So the picture at the top is the Family Court North. That one is in Port of Spain on Cipriani Boulevard. So if you've passed down Cipriani Boulevard at any point in time, right on the corner of Cipriani Boulevard and Tragreed Road, you have the Family Court North. And they will take care of all the matters that come from Port of Spain, Chaguanas, Samoa, Laventille, Diego Martin. And then the second picture is our Family Court in Tobago. And that is all the matters that come out of Tobago that have to deal with family matters, go to the Family Court in Tobago. And the last picture, the picture at the bottom, our Family Court Princestown, or some people like to say Family Court South, is located here in Princestown. And of course, all the matters that come from Princestown, Mayaro, go to this court to be dealt with, right? So we have 3 different locations, and we hope very much in the future to be expanding so that we could provide service to even more locations across Trinidad and Tobago. But for now, these are the 3 areas that we have. So the Family Court deals with different matters: divorce, maintenance, custody, access, property dispute, domestic violence, any adoption matters. And of course, its focus is resolving family conflict, right? So we will have just heard about mediators. We also have family mediators who deal with mediation, and they are really charged with helping 2 parties resolve conflict that they come up with the solutions with, and the solutions are not just handed down by a judicial officer or somebody else who is within the system. We have different court programs, social services, domestic violence services. We have our domestic violence hotline, which people can access. And of course, we have maintenance. Now we have our court-based system where people can pay maintenance electronically. They don't necessarily have to come into the court, right? So that's just a few of the services that we have at the Family Court. So anybody can tell me why they think a separate children court exists from the family court and why we've separated the two. Anybody could tell me, you could say it in the chat. I will allow people to type that response while I talk about the different locations that we have for the children court. So just like the family court, we have 3 different locations for our children court. Now, the first location, Children Court North, Children Court Port of Spain, is on Elizabeth Street, St. Clair. And again, that's the top picture. It's opposite the Oval. So if you ever pass on that side street by the Oval, you can see this building. Try and commit it to memory so that you know exactly where the Children Court North is. We also have the Children Court Faizabad, which is the picture in the middle. And that covers the jurisdictions for Cuba, Tabaquí, Talparo, San Fernando, Point Fortin, Mayaro, Rio Claro, Pinal, Dede, Princestown. So wide jurisdiction, right? And the last picture, the Children Court Tobago is housed in the Supreme Court building in Bacolod and Scarborough. So this building is shared between the Supreme Court as well as the Children Courts of Tobago. So I don't have any responses yet. I think y'all are being shy.
No, I don't have any responses on my end.
All right, no problem. People are being shy this afternoon. So I'll as the young people say, I'll allow them, right? So the Children Court was created to deal with matters involving children who were brought before the court who are under the age of 18. So once you are 18 and under 18, sorry, any child who breaks the law, a child who's in need of supervision, a child who's needing care protection, any domestic violence matters involving children are brought before the Children Court. So they have a separate space, a different type of focus. The focus of the Children Court is really rehabilitative. It is not punitive. It's not meant to just discard children and, you know, we send them off to jail or prison. No, we really look for holding them accountable, giving them the programs and the treatments necessary to help them rehabilitate and reintegrate into society so that they are not lost, right? So we have peer resolution programs, we have drug treatment programs, and those are for children and their parents who come before the courts who are in need of services because they have different drug-related matters in terms of drug addiction and that sort of thing. We have different social service programs, and then we have different court programs related to children themselves.
Okay, so Ms. Reynolds, I have a response from someone. So the person is saying the family court deals with family matters, and though the child is connected to the family system and the parents are responsible for the children, some children's issues happen outside of the family system, such as abuse by strangers, adolescent, drugs use, etc.
That is an excellent answer. So I want to thank that person for
that was Miss Renisha Morris.
Hi, Renisha. Thank you so much for participating. That was an excellent answer. Yes, there are matters that affect children who have to come before the court that are not family related. So the Children Court was created so that there is that separate structure where children can have their matters dealt with, and it is not a punitive system. So that is absolutely correct. And thank you so much.
Right. And so another person is saying why a family court? People who deal with children need different training.
Yes. So great. I'm glad that that person raised that. The training, although we are one division, the Family and Children Division, the training to handle children matters is different. There are special cases, different types of programs that we will have for children that require a different type of training, require a different education system for the persons who are coming in. And so it is a different structure. And like I mentioned before, it can be a different culture. So definitely, yes, the Children Courts operates a little bit differently in terms of the way that things are handled. So that is absolutely correct. You're on the money. So let's look at the structure. So you have the Family and Children Division that's broken down into the Family Court and the Children Court. So the Family Court, as we mentioned, as y'all would have put in the chat, handles family matters, and the children court handles children matters. You then have the court office structure within each court. You have the Family and Children Court Administration Department. And then you have, under the Family and Children Court Administration, you have the FCD Central Coordinating Office. So this is where you have all your administrators, we have IT, we have HR, we have all our auxiliary units. And then in each family court and children court, you have the administration, which would be the managers, assistant managers, coordinators, who are helping to manage the operations of the court itself. All right. So we're really breaking down in terms of how the court is structured and the different rules that will fall into each court. So this one I'm going to wait on, and I want as many people to answer. What types of careers do you think about when you hear the word court, when you hear judiciary? I mentioned family court and children court. So you tell me, what are the different types of careers that you think about when you hear the word court? So I'm going to give you all 2 minutes to put information in the chat. I'm seeing things popping up in the chat. I see the numbers going up. Let's see if anything is private. Okay, so someone direct messaged me, a lawyer, a judge, lawyer, social worker, probation officers, lawyers,
Right.
social workers, children advocates.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I am also seeing lawyers, social workers, children advocate,
Okay.
judge.
All right. So those are very good answers. But in addition to all the things that you have said, so you said lawyers, you said judges, you said social workers, the FCD, which is the Family and Children Division, is staffed by trained professionals from all different types of fields, right? So yes, we have lawyers who may be like judicial research councils. Yes, we have judges, we do have social workers, and we have different types of social workers that I will talk about. But we also have persons from nearly every single discipline. So we talked about judges, right? So we have judges and other judicial officers like masters, registrars, and marshals, deputies, and assistants for both. We have the judicial research councils, which are usually lawyers who assist the judges and the judicial officers with their legal research and their writing, preparing and reviewing different legal opinions or draft documents. So those are your lawyers. And then you even have judicial support officers. And they are the advanced specialized clerical assistants to the judicial officers. And they're very critical in terms of the operation of the court office. So these are the persons that you have. And we have other administrative support positions which exist within the court office. So we talked about our court administration, right? So those of you who are interested in management and leadership, these are some of the roles that you can look forward to. So these people plan, manage, they implement the court operations. They make sure that all the operations are running in keeping with all the different legislation and the rules. And some of the career parts of the deputy court executive administrator. This person supports the court executive administrator. They have overall control and responsibility and accountability for the functioning of the entire family and children division. We have administrators that have overall control for their court. So we have family court administrators and the children court administrators. We have managers for each court. We have legal officers, and those are the ones who will give us the guidance for any legal opinions that we need. We have research and planning officers, and then we even have our court services coordinators and then officers. So something interesting to note about court services officers, if you've ever gone to any other organization and you've heard about CSRs, right? Customer service representatives. Our court services officers are like our CSRs. They're the first face that you see when you enter the court building. They're that first interaction you get. And really, these are the people who make or break the face of the judiciary a lot of the times. So we make sure that these people are well equipped to answer any questions, that they are pleasant, that they are willing to receive persons and to give them the information necessary, right? So if you're interested in management or pursuing maybe like an MBA or any degree in management, or maybe even your legal degree, these are your law degree, these are some of the positions that will be available to you as well. So we have other positions. We have the Children Authority Liaison Coordinator, and that person maintains communication between the Family and Children Division and the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. We spoke about drug treatment programs. So we have a drug treatment court process manager and a coordinator, and they deal with the drug treatment court process. We have peer resolution. So any peer resolution program that is annexed by the court, these are the people who will deal with it. And then of course, we have our auxiliary program monitor and coordinator, and all the staff that will be in this unit, making sure that court orders are verified and dispatched, monitoring each case to ensure that all the interventions that are put forward by the court are being adhered to and implemented in a timely manner. All right, so we have people doing family counseling, we have people doing counseling for parents, we have different programs like our Agree Like Me program, some of the life lesson programs. These are the programs that are happening to help with the rehabilitation of children and to help with managing any conflict within the family. So someone mentioned social services, right? So social services are very integral to the family and children division and the courts, because we are looking at building those family relations. And I keep mentioning developing and rehabilitating the children who come before the courts, right? So we have social services managers and coordinators. We have psychologists. We have child and family facilitators that will help facilitate some of the programs that I mentioned before. We have social workers. We have regular social workers, but we also have the ones that are responsible for mental health. They deal with the prevention and rehabilitation of children and their families who come before the court with mental health issues. And then we have those who are focused on psychoeducation, psychoed, where they develop, assess, and develop care plans for children who come before the court, incorporating both educational and therapeutic types of remedies, right? We have field officers that have to go out to families, and then we have intake officers and assessment officers within the court. So like I said, there's a lot of different areas that you could get involved in, especially if you're involved in, or you want to be involved in social work. All right. So we mentioned the family mediators before, and they assist in resolving family conflicts, again, surrounding divorce, custody, maintenance, properties, right? So it's one person who is mediating or helping facilitate a discussion between party A and party B. And really, it's to help the two persons come up with their own decisions, their own rationale to how we're going to solve this problem. And there's no person with a big stick saying, well, this is how you have to do it, right? So that's the purpose of the mediators. So this is a picture of our youth and child room. And this is manned by our youth and child officers. So they are responsible for the supervision and protection of babies, toddlers, children, while in the care of the court, right? So let's say, for an example, a father and a mother have to go before the court to handle a custody matter, and they have their child with them. They can stay in the youth and child room, and they will be supervised by someone, and they will be engaged in meaningful activities, different activities, whether it's on the computer or written, drawing, different play activities, to keep them occupied and safe while in the care of the courts. All right. So remember before I mentioned that there are a host of different areas. So when you think of courts, yes, we think of the courts, and yes, we think of the judiciary as this place where lawyers and judges and social workers are. But in the background, the support units also consists of a lot of other careers. So you have our HR unit that will have a manager like myself, and then we'll have analysts and officers. and we do the recruitment for the court. So we are responsible for getting all the human resources together that make the court run, right? We manage the employee benefits, any health and wellness, and any issues that staff might have. Then you have our finance department, right? That's the money guys. So there's an executive accountant, different financial analysts, and they will process payments. They will see about payroll. They will make sure people get paid on time. They will do all the budgeting and financial planning to make sure that we have the resources to do the job that we need to do, all right? You also have our IT or ICT unit. They will build our website. They will create all our case management software. They will do all the networking. They will give us all our equipment to make sure we have the tools, all the staff have the tools to do the job. When we are doing court virtually now, so they give us all the audio visual support to do those things, right? We have our communication and informations unit, and there we have a manager and officers who are responsible for the relations with persons who have an interest in the court, right? All our customers and anybody who's interested in the services that we provide. They will be responsible for getting the message out to them in a very clear and concise manner, all right? So they're responsible for all our branding, our reputation, social media, all the websites, the ads. If you go onto Instagram, if you go onto Facebook, I know y'all are getting a fact sheet from us with all our social media handles. Once you go onto any of that, that is our communications and information department that is responsible for those different social media platforms. You have areas like audits and compliance. They're responsible for reviewing all our processes and keeping us in line. We have court planning. They are responsible for monitoring policy development, any strategic planning and research. So if you're somebody who likes to do research and collect data and come up with different proposals, these are the court planning is the unit that will be responsible for that. So some people are really interested in how you qualify for jobs at the judiciary. I'm happy to say that at the judiciary we have, because I would have spoken about a wide range of different jobs, our qualifications range from CXC passes to associate degrees to relevant degrees in the different areas, whether it's HR, IT, social work. If you go on to get your law degree or go on to do your LEC with your legal education certificate, you go on to do your master's, whether it's in education, whether it's in psychology, or whether you do general management, there is a place for you at the judiciary. We even have positions where people are facilities or they enter different ICT technological fields. So if you are a little bit more hands-on and you're a little bit more techy, there are positions that you can qualify for at the judiciary, right? There are areas that are both legal and administrative. And if you get into court operations, once you get into the court, once you get the training in that area, you can then move on within the court in the areas where you would require some more court training. So once you get into the court, you spend a little time, you'll get the experience that you need to move on into positions that would require you to have the court experience. Yeah, so that brings me to the end of my presentation. And of course, now I open up the floor to any additional questions that you may have. And I just want to say thank you so much for your time. Julia.
Hello. All right. So we have a question out there that's saying, can you tell us a little bit more about HR?
Oh, sure, I can tell you a lot about HR.
Yes, we have students out there who've heard about human resources, and it's a field that a lot of companies do have to help run their businesses. So we just want a little bit more information about human resources.
So HR is that unicorn field that, yes, in every single profession and every single industry, you will find HR. HR is responsible for getting human resources together, right? And human resources is your people, right? That's the capital that you need to get the job done, right? Unless you work in a job where everything is manned by robots and software, you do need people to run it at some point, right? So HR is responsible from getting the persons on board, putting out the advertisements to recruit people. So when you submit your resume for a job, when it's time for you to get into that, it's someone in HR who's put out that ad that you've seen. They're going to get your resume. They're going to go through it. They will do the interview with you, maybe along with other people who are in the job. When you get the job, right, because we're talking positivity here, when you get the job, you're going to be onboarded. It's called onboarding and oriented. We'll tell you all about the job that you have to do, all about the organization. When you finish with that, when you start working, you're going to have issues. We're going to say, okay, these are your benefits. We'll help you with your contracts. We'll give you the guidance you need. And any issues that you have throughout your employment, we'll tell you about your salary, that kind of thing, right? We'll go through all of that in the beginning. HR is responsible for compensation management. So if we say, okay, this year, 2020, the salary is this, in 3 years, we'll review, or maybe your salary changes every year, HR is responsible for that as well. All your employee benefits. So we're talking, if you work for a job that's paying your health plan, or your sick leave, your vacation leave, we are responsible for administrating and managing those things, right? Any staff issues, if someone is having trouble at home and we need to help them through EAP, which is employee assistance, which is like counseling that the company might have, HR is responsible for putting those things in place and making sure that the employee is comfortable seeing about their health and wellness. We're responsible for trainings, any training that the person needs to get, whether it's on-the-job training or training for, let's say, something outside. Yeah, do we need to send you on training? HR is responsible for that, right? HR is responsible for managing your benefits from maternity, sick leave, and in some unfortunate cases, death benefits, dealing with your family. If that comes up, then it goes into retirement. So from start to finish, someone in HR is going to be your friend. Be close with them. Yes, they're going to be responsible for your entire life cycle, your entire employment cycle with the company. Yeah, so HR is there from beginning to end, kind of like accounts. Yeah, HR, the people, accounts is the money people.
Great. So the next question is that I have for you is, do you love your job?
I do.
Yes.
And more than just loving my job, I love my career. So it's not just the job in terms of, yes, I love working at the judiciary. I love working in HR at the judiciary. The judiciary is a really fast-paced organization and there's never a dull moment. So I love it because that's the type of person I am, right? I like to keep going. But I've been in HR for 14 years and I've worked at different types of companies, and every single company is different. Every Monday morning is different. There's a new scenario. There's new changing legislation that you have to keep on board with, and then you have to inform employees. And you come across a lot of situations that bring out the humanitarian in you. People like to say, well, I want to get an HR because I like people. HR can make you not like people because there's so many evolving issues that you have to deal with. You have to really be that person who's willing to not just like people, but be wanting to help people and help them through their journey, career development, saying, okay, what's next for you? You're really good at this. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? So yes, I do love my job, but I also love my career as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Reynolds. Today, your information was great. I hope the students out there will learn a lot about the careers and the pathways that are in the judiciary services that we may not have necessarily known about. And there's so much inside of there that I even learned about the court researchers, and you just never really hear about these jobs so much. And it's nice to know that there's IT technicians,
Yes.
the researchers, the court managers, everybody else who makes this system work. So thank you. And also the HR department, so who basically runs the whole working of the corporation. So thank you very much this afternoon for your information.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who participated and asked questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Ms. Dayla?
Well, if we have no questions, I don't know if there are any other questions, final
No.
questions.
No, there are no questions on the chat.
Okay. So, as Ms. Sampath said, that was a really, really interesting and informative presentation. We learned that the variety of jobs that we have, where we are so thinking it's one job, but we realize there are myriads of jobs in our court system. So this is something you students can get more research, do more research, get more information, ask your questions, and who knows, this may be a career path you may choose to follow. So
That's right. And I also want to say that I learned something between these two, and it has to do with the helping profession. So when you're talking about mediation, and you're talking about the court services and HR and all of these jobs, these are jobs for
Yes.
people who want to help people, who are dynamic. It's always changing.
course.
And like
Yes.
Ms. Reynard said, you know, this is a career that she loves. So it's not just a job. You can have a job anywhere, but this is a career and a passion that everybody on our panel here today really loves what they do. So it's so
course.
fantastic to hear.
The passion is important there, very important.
Yes.
So we have come to the end of our live presenters for the afternoon. What we have in store for you now are a couple of videos. The first two videos would give you a more breakdown and insight into careers in social sciences. And then we have some testimonials to follow. So we'll start by doing some little careers. And also on the chat, there is a little Google document that we would like you to fill out. It's not going to take you long, so please participate. Okay, so let's sit back and enjoy our videos. Ms. Sampath.
Yes. And if you have any questions, please, if you have any questions for our panel, please let them know in the chat. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. And we're moving on to our next video presentation. Thank you. right, so thank you very much for those video presentations. And Ms. Deolat, you know that we learned a lot from those videos just now. There's so many careers out there.
Geography, psychology, law, anthropology, political science, all that from those two little videos. So the field of social sciences is so wide and varied. Students, I would encourage you to do some research. You can find your career here. Ms. Sampat, the evaluation link, let me just let the students know, the evaluation link has been placed in the chat. It's going to just take you a minute or two. Please, students, you can participate in it. In the meanwhile, we shall see some more videos. This time, however, Ms. Sampat, they are actually testimonials from students, from persons who we may know, may not know, right here in Trinidad, why they choose to study in the field of social sciences.
Great, I look forward to seeing these videos.
Yes, so those are up now.
Thank you.
Renessa, and I'm a final year social work student at the University of the West Indies. And today I'm here to tell you why I chose social sciences. So I have three main reasons. And the first reason is because of my mom. So growing up, I would see her always helping people. Anytime you need something, she is the one that you would come to. So I remember in primary school, I told her about this girl in my class who didn't have lunch. And so every day after that, she would pack a separate lunch and a separate juice and a separate water for my classmates. And so growing up, I really had that value of helping others instilled in me. So that's the first reason, my mom. The second reason was because even as a little child, I saw the problems in my community. I didn't know why they were happening or even how to solve them, but I saw them, and I feel like I saw them for a reason. And even though I didn't know how to solve them because I was so young, I would run around telling people, stop this, that's not right. And stuff like that. Even grown people, I tell them, that's not right, auntie, stop that. So I was like a little menace, just running around telling people what to do. So I was always standing up for what I believed in. So that's the second reason. The third reason was the fact that I felt like I had no skills. I had no talents, I had nothing. Like, I couldn't do anything. So I couldn't draw. I could barely write. I could barely write legibly. So I couldn't draw. I could barely write. I couldn't do maths. Like, I couldn't do anything. So I felt like the only thing I could do and that I was actually good at was helping people. Like, a lot of people would confide in me and stuff like that. Even grown adults would come and talk to me, and sometimes I'd be able to help them. So in my mind then, being able to help people was my purpose. But I was also aware of the fact that there was only so much that I can do because I don't have the skills, I don't have the talents, I don't know that much. So education then was a way for me to develop the necessary skills and talents to be able to help people effectively, right? So I chose to pursue tertiary education. I went to E-levels and I got a lot of great skills. Critical thinking skills was super important. I learned how to think, and I always thinking, my brain always working, but thinking at a higher level. So I learned that in E-levels, and then I went into social work in the Faculty of Social Sciences, and I realized, wait, I do have skills, I do have talents, empathy, critical thinking, problem solving. I had a bunch of skills that I didn't know that I had. And then also I was able to develop new skills. And so I would better be equipped to help others. So if you like talking to people, you have problem solving skills, you're empathetic, you have critical thinking skills, and you love helping people, then this is most likely the faculty for you. If you don't, then good luck. I hope you find your purpose. But choose social sciences. Good luck, everybody.
All right, and now we go on to our next video testimonial of another student who is in the social sciences field. Hopefully that video will be up and running very soon. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to put it in the chat as we prepare for the next video. And as we learn about these different fields in social sciences, thank you very much.
My name is Jewel, and today I'll be sharing with you guys 2 reasons why I chose to pursue a tertiary education. So the first reason is because of my desire to increase my knowledge. And I know if not all of you all, most of you all would be familiar with the quote, knowledge is power. And I truly believe in that. And tertiary education gave me the opportunity to learn more and to learn more within an area that I am passionate about, which is social work. This leads me to the second reason why I chose to go to university, my career choice and desire to be a social worker. So as you all know, to be employed in society, you need to be qualified. And pursuing a tertiary education gave me the opportunity to obtain a BSc in social work, which is needed in order for me to be employed as a social worker here in Trinidad and Tobago. And in this faculty, it offers a wide range of programs, from economics to psychology to sociology to finance. And as you all look towards the future and decide whether or not you all want to pursue a tertiary education, I would advise that you all research what is offered at the Faculty of the Behavioral Sciences and truly pursue tertiary education in an area that you all are passionate about, that you all enjoy.
All righty, and I think we have the third video coming up very soon. And as you know, there are lots of, okay, thank you.
Okay, so how I came to have an interest for the social sciences, particularly the behavioral department, I decided to dive into the field of social work. Why? From growing up, I watched movies and shows. I admired how these professionals develop a work ethic when working with the different client populations, such as children, adults, elderly, people coming out of the prison system, or groups of people. I also like how this profession empowers people. It helps promote social justice, equality, have a voice for everyone. Also, here in this profession, it's all about professional growth. You could also continue learning, as there's different cultures, places, and events you can go and take place in. Why? Because the population you are working with, everyone is unique and different. So not each person will be the same. So you're always learning something new. So I also like that aspect as well. The population I can see myself working with is children, because I see that they're vulnerable population in society. So I would like to be an advocate for them, promote social justice as well. Help them be their voice, because they're often overlooked, misunderstood, and taken for granted. So I want to help children see that they have a voice, they have a say in matters when it comes to them. They don't just have to sit out and be quiet and take is what given to them. They could speak out, they could say, hey, And also I like the education system as well. So I'm doing my practicum there, and yeah, I can see myself further there. And for the future, I haven't decided yet, but develop going along in the education line. I'd like to see myself probably doing my master's in something pertaining to children. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for those wonderful words. This brings us to the end of our career fair for today. I must say that those three beautiful young ladies certainly impressed us with their willingness to help others, Ms. Sampath.
Yes,
And
for
we could
sure.
see it, yes. Their choice of career shows they have heart and passion, as you would want to see.
Yes.
So we thank them for that.
And then we also thank very much this evening. We want to thank Ms. Smith-Shaw and Ms. Gordon for their lovely presentation on all of the careers out there, as well as Ms. Reynard for her, for her lovely presentation as well. We thank them very much for their information, and I hope students today that you learn a lot of information about the different options out there, careers, not just jobs in the social services field. And from those videos, Ms. Deolat, we saw that there's geography, there's law, linguistics, politics, history, psychology. So the courses that you're doing now in secondary school, you can kind of see a link between what you're doing and what is out there. So we hope that you take this information today and you start doing your research at home, talk to your parents, talk to your teachers, talk to your guidance officers and counselors, and find out what else is out there that maybe it's the right fit for you.
So on that note, we wish everybody a pleasant good afternoon. Be safe. And we will see you next week when we present our grand final presentation for this month.
Yes. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Take care.
Good evening.